Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we got another tier list here for Dead by Daylight. I wanted to do a skin collab for Dead by Daylight. We did like a feature, like maybe like killers and stuff like that recently, and there was a lot of good ideas for it. But I figured this is just skins, which have no like chapter, kind of like the Attack on Titan stuff and the Led Zeppelin stuff. So I just kind of got a hodgepodge. I made this list. There'll probably be a lot more, and if you guys have more ideas, I can do a part two of this, but we're just going to kind of go through it, and then I'm going to try to, if the ones that like in the S and the A tier, I'm going to try to say what skins we want to use for 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 what characters. First up is American Horror Story. Interesting, like because it has so many different chapters and different things. It's kind of interesting to where you would put that in like a game because like there's a lot of different characters and different characters play different things. I feel like it wouldn't really translate as super well to Dead by Daylight. Like I think most of the skins are like there are iconic characters, but like I couldn't really name anybody off the top of my head of like who would fit what. I'm gonna put it in C. I might be wrong for that, but like I feel like other than maybe some of the killers, like I know the clown killer in what was it, the carnival season would be perfect for the clown because it's just like it's kind of just an upgraded version of him and just stuff like that. But so there's definitely something there, but like my height meter isn't super high. This one was Barney. I don't know why, but a lot of people suggested like kids like shows. If Barney was in the game, I believe. Man, what would be a good killer? I mean, I feel like we already got the clown having like the big elephant suit, so we don't really need that. Trying to think of what would be jarring for Barney to just be chasing you as. Nemesis would be insane. And then like the zombies are kids. I don't know. I wouldn't be super hyped for Barney. I think it would be interesting, but definitely weird. Next up is Happy Death Day. I feel like the main character deserves to be like a chapter with her as the thing, and like the mask killer could easily be like a Legion or something. I think that would definitely be a Kate skin. I'm gonna put it in B. I think it fits. Not sure exactly if I'd want it just as a skin collab and not like an actual chapter, but I'll put it in B. I think that's a pretty solid area. Next up, we have the Eurovision winners, Lord. Great band, great songs. If you like them, they're pretty good. They have like kind of like a monstery getup. I'm not sure exactly which everybody would be in it because like they kind of have some different looks. But like definitely the main guy, I feel like could be like an Oni or even like a Trapper, somebody just big and bulking and stuff. I think I would be pretty hyped for this. I don't play killers super like a lot. Like I have 1,000 hours in Dead by Daylight. I just got to my 1,000 hours, and I want to say if I really had to look down at it, I probably would have like 970 Survivor and like maybe 30 into to Killer. But that's even being kind of gracious that I'm feeling that I've actually spent 30 hours on it. I don't think it might be that close, but I think it's B. I mean, I think if it fit the right killers, it would work really well. They kind of have that cool grungy look that can fit in a horror game pretty well. They even had a horror movie, so they have that feel really good. Next up, we have Freaky, which had Vince Vaughn in it, and I always forget the girl's name, where they swap places. I honestly could see this working. It would be like maybe Kate and I mean, but it's like a killer, so I guess it would be Legion as the girl, and then Vince Vaughn could be like Ace, maybe? I don't know. I'm not super pumped for that. I'm gonna put that in D. I feel like because it's kind of weird because like they're swap bodies, I don't think it works as well. Next up is Supernatural. I think this is S tier. I think we need Supernatural skins. I don't know exactly how you would fit each one. I mean, it would be great as a chapter because like their characters are so developed and they have like lore and stuff like that. But Sam and Dean, I guess we would put maybe Dean is Felix. I think Felix is kind of like the more handsome of the one, and then Sam could be interesting as Jeff because like of kind of his longer hair and stuff, and they maybe like age him down a little bit. Castiel, I would say possibly could be David. He's like a little bulkier for that. I might be wrong on this, so you guys will have to tell me what you guys think if you're Supernatural fans. I don't know if you'd add Jack or if you would use like you could use Ruby as a killer skin. Yellow Eyes, you know, there's a big character in that to put, or even like Lucifer. You know, Lucifer would be a pretty good character that you could put as one of the other killer skins. So I think Supernatural would fit pretty well. I'd be pretty dope for it, or pretty down for it, not dope for it. What even is that? Sleep Token, kind of a band that's popped off over the last couple years. I think they have like the aesthetic that fits Dead by Daylight. It would definitely have to be a Legion skin, maybe a Ghosty skin if they really were like wanting to be spicy with it. But I think Legion for sure. I'd be fine with it. I feel like if they could get one of these bands to do a skin and then like let them use like a portion of their music, if the music worked with it, like as the chase music, I think that could definitely add to it. Or having special mores and stuff with like I don't know, with something in it. I think it would work pretty well. Next up is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've seen this like on a lot of lists. Honestly, I'm not really big into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not gonna say like I don't like it because I haven't watched that much. I watched season one, and a lot of people said it's like one of those shows that you have to watch season one and then watch season two, and you'll feel better as you go along. I feel like I haven't watched season two, so I haven't got to that part of like, oh, this is an iconic show. I feel like it would be pretty decent to be putting it in this game, but I don't really know it that well, so I'm gonna have to put it in D. I already know this is the one that most people in the comments are gonna get absolutely livid about because I just don't know. I don't know the characters enough. I know Ario Speedwagon. He would be a great character in there, and I know obviously JoJo and God, I can't even Dio. I was like, I couldn't think of the bad guy's name. Next up is Avatar. Now, this actually could seem like an actual one that would like fit in a weird way because of like Attack on Titan fit really well. The only issue is, I guess, the skin dolouts. I would say that like Katara and Sokka have to be the brother and sister. Like that just fits so perfectly to what already is in Dead by Daylight. Aang, I would I want to say they're gonna put it on Dwight, even though it does not fit. It should be somebody like Yoichi or Jake, but they're gonna put it on like Dwight. And then Toph could be like Hattie. I think could work pretty well. I think it'd be pretty solid. I'd put it in B. I'm not like super pumped for it, but like I wouldn't be against it. Death Note, actually, I feel like is a better chapter than this because you could have some really cool stuff. But with the Shinigami, God, I can't even speak today. Ryu could probably be like for a killer big guy. So Trapper, what is it? No, that would be perfect for Rafe, like because he has like the big bulk up at the top. I could see that, and like they can go invisible and stuff, or like they're not they go invisible. They're invisible to the people who haven't seen the Death Note or touched it. I think is what it is. I can't remember exactly the rules. Light, I guess he would be a killer skin, because he is the bad guy. Let's see. Legion could work. Any of like the smaller guys, I think wouldn't work too bad. But the one I want out of this skin, and this would make it like very hype for me and putting it in A tier, is Misa as Sable. Like, yes, Chef's Kiss, that would be perfect. I'd buy that skin in a heartbeat. Um, that is so perfect. I could see them also giving it to Kate, just kind of depending on who they want to play favorites with on that one, because I feel like whoever they pick is gonna get a huge pick rate up. So if they haven't given Kate a skin in a while, they probably would do that. But I would be down either way. I would buy that skin in a heartbeat. And then what L would probably be, God, I don't want to. Maybe Jake. Maybe Jake. I don't know. Like we haven't really seen like an edgier goth character or even in the outfit. So I put it in A. I'd be pretty dope for it. I'd buy it. So next up is Tokyo Ghoul. It's a really underrated manga. I feel like people watch only the anime and people haven't they enjoy it. Like I enjoyed the anime, but if you read the manga also, it just doesn't have his same feel. But I think overall it's still a really good show slash piece of media, I guess is the best way of saying it. I feel like they would all technically be good or bad guys. I'm not really sure. There's the big bad guy, which is like Jason, and he's kind of like Voorhees. He'd be easily a good trapper skin. Ken himself would probably be a good. Let's see, if we're gonna go Survivor, Jake wouldn't be bad. Um, I don't know who else. And then like I think the girl that works with him could be like a Yoon or Yurichi skin, not Yoon or Yui skin. I'd be okay with it. I'm not like super pumped for it. I feel like it goes with the Attack on Titan thing. Like the Attack on Titan one had a lot of skins, and then some of them were really good, and some of them were like, they were fine. Next up is Demon Slayer. Now, I've actually heard in rumblings in the community that this is actually like closer than any of these other skins of actually being like in the game. I honestly am not completely against it. I feel like his sister, because I can't think of her name right now, would be a great spirit skin. Like that would be like the chef's kiss perfect thing, perfect skin for her. Her brother, I guess he would have to be a survivor. I mean, yeah, a survivor. So you could have a couple different characters I think that fits that. I can't really think of the spot on. Now his friend that's on the left hand corner is definitely like a Dwight skin. Like I feel like they have the same energy, like not main character but side character energy. I'm gonna put it in B. I can see it. I think the spirit skin for her would be absolutely perfect. And then there's the other Demon Slayer, the one with the butterfly wings. That'd be really cool for like a Yoon or Yui, which would be also pretty sick. I would actually maybe slide that to A. I think it would be pretty cool. From now, this if you've ever seen this show, it actually would be a better chapter, to be honest, because I feel like there's just a lot. I don't even know what this is. Oh, I know what it is. It's completely blacked out, but I'll when I get to it, I'll be able to do it. But it's a great like the creatures in it are very scary, and they could really fit pretty well into like a Dead by Daylight universe. Honestly, I feel for this type of format, it wouldn't be that great. We could possibly give Adam, the main guy's character, skin. All the other characters, I don't feel like necessarily would get a skin or not get a skin. I'm gonna put it in D. I just don't think it works as well for like a skin thing more than a chapter thing for Dead by Daylight. Next up is Last of Us. I think again this is another one that be a better chapter than skins. But if we were gonna do just skins, with the main character could be like an Ace, maybe even a Felix. The girl could be Ellie, could be Meg. I feel like Meg would fit pretty well for Ellie. If you want to go because she's a little musical, we go with Kate, but I feel like it's Meg. I feel like a lot of the zombie skins they could do and do like a little zombified or like fungal-fied version of a lot of killers. So there'd be a lot of cool stuff you could do it. I'm gonna put it in A. I feel like it's very close to perfect, but doesn't necessarily need to be in the game. But if they put skins in it, I'd be fine with it. Next up is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I would absolutely go ham on these skins. So Buffy, definitely Kate. Willow would definitely be either Sable or Michaela. I think more Michaela. We go Xander would be Dwight 100%. That's like no doubt in my mind. If we go Angel as a good guy, I would say would be maybe like a David, could possibly be Felix. Um, Trying to think. I don't know if they could go Giles, which would be also perfect for um, Ace. And then if they went with bad guys, if they wanted to go Angel as a bad guy or Spike, it's like they could use Legion skins for that. Because Legion's like kind of just like that perfect character that can fit a lot of the skins. Um, but I think that would be it. I think the Survivor side, it's a very Survivor friendly like thing, so I'll put it in A. I feel like I would eat it up. I'd buy it. Actually, I'm gonna put it in S because I personally would probably buy a lot of the skins. Next up is Pearl. Pearl's an interesting one because she does wield an axe at one point, so like it would be almost like a huntress skin, but she's so different size than her. So I feel like it would only fit a Legion skin. I think it would be a decent one-off, but I don't think I'd be too super excited for it. She would be a better like just killer on her own if they really wanted to do that, but I don't think it would work really well for that. Silence of the Lambs. It's another one that's like a really good movie and like a good killer, but I really don't see it like nobody's gonna want a Hannibal skin, you know? So I'm gonna put it in D also. I feel like it's not super crazy. Next up we have is Barbarian, which is one of the weirdest movies to me because it's like the first 30 some movie, 30-ish movie minutes of the movie. It's a really good movie, and it just lost me with the rest of it. I didn't really care for it when they had the big reveal and all that. So, spoilers with it, the creature I would probably say would fit under maybe the hag, but that's kind of small. kind of Nemesis could possibly. I don't know. It's like you want a big bulking creature. Artist could possibly. She's kind of tall, so that could kind of work. You could definitely do that. The Survivor, I definitely think you could use it as Elodie. I think that would be a pretty good skin for her. The guy, maybe Dwight. I hate to say it. Barbarian would be a decent skin chapter. I'll put it in C. I would buy the main character for sure, but that's probably about it. The Strangers. Now, this is actually a really kind of like intense movie. The first one is at least. The two main characters, husband and wife, so maybe like a Felix and Kate, maybe. I think that could fit. I don't think that those are the skins, but then the mask you could do for the people out there kind of fit Legion pretty well. Again, I just feel like it's just putting mask on regular people, so I don't think it works super well. I'll put it in D. I'm not super excited about it. Next up, we have Ghost, the band. It's one of my favorite bands, so I had to include it here. They have the ghouls have their own like mask, and then you obviously got the Pope itself. I could see this either being a killer skin or a survivor skin because if you do like a killer skin, like I feel like it would be really good to get Ghosty. You could also possibly stay with me here, Trickster, because like obviously they're both musicians and stuff, and if you gave them the face makeup and stuff, I think it would work pretty well. The Nameless Ghouls also could be really cool if they did something with, like maybe even like Legion or something, and like have Legion, not Legion, Nemesis have Nemesis in a band shirt, and then have the ghouls as his creatures. Something like that could be really interesting. Not probably gonna happen because of obviously the licensing, but this is just a perfect world here, so we're not going too crazy in it. Now, if you wanted to go Survivor, me personally, I feel like the nameless ghouls can just be masks that you give out to certain characters. That'd be kind of cool. And then with him in general, with Papa, I'd probably put him. This is kind of I honestly feel Felix fits him the best, and I would definitely buy that skin. So I'm gonna put it in B. I think it works. It's just probably not super popular. I don't really know exactly the reach of Ghosts. Like I think they're one of the best bands, but does that mean everybody else feels that way? I don't know. Next up is Walking Dead. I feel like this could easily be a whole chapter in itself, and there's so many skins. Let's just run down Michonne, Elodie. We can go Rick as honestly, it could be like Felix. It could be like any of the guys. There's so many characters. Daryl could fit as like a Ace seems a little old, so maybe Felix for him instead. And then, on the opposite side for bad guys, Governor could be maybe Legion. Trying to think like stabby characters. I don't know. And you could obviously do a lot of zombified versions of the killers. I feel like that's something that like Dead by Daylight at some point should do. Like they should do zombified versions of the survivors and the killers as skins, and then like blighted versions of the survivors. Like they have some of them like with like outfits with a little bit of blight, but I want like a little bit of like deformity or like like where you see the decay of the blight. Something like that could be cool, and you wouldn't have to come up with anything. You just redesign skins that we already currently have. But I don't know. Overall, I don't think I would really be a big fan of The Walking Dead. It would fit some pretty good ones. I used to be a big fan of the show, but it kind of got old for me. But there would be some good skins in there. I actually slide it up to B because I think a lot of people would still buy it. Now, Left 4 Dead is an interesting one because we already have Bill, and then we technically have Nick, Rochelle, and Zoe skin in, was it Meg, Claudette, and God, who else is it? Nick was he Jeff? I can't remember exactly. Might have been Jake. I don't know. But they have those skins in the game already, so we would be missing Coach Lewis and Ellis, or maybe Ellis is in the game. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, there's some already in there. I don't really think we're missing anything too crazy, and I think the characters that we are missing, like Lewis, could easily be Adam. I'd be cool with that. Um, Other than that, I feel like Coach doesn't really have anybody that kind of matches his physique that would work. So I'm gonna put it in. I'm not that excited about it, but I would like again zombified versions, like if we had a Boomer and stuff like that. The witch as Spirit would be great. Actually, I'm gonna move that up a little bit higher because I just thought of that off the top of my head. Then we got Ready or Not. Her is like she is one of the best like final girls, but that I think that's the only thing we would really get from that movie. I think she deserves her own like survivor than anything. But if we are gonna just put her in there, obviously she's gonna be Kate. I put her in as C. It'd still be worth putting her in the game, but I feel like there's other stuff we can do. Midsommar, we already got kind of similar Kate outfit with like the Midsommar dress, so it wouldn't be completely needed. I'm gonna put it in D because I don't feel like other than like stuff that we already have, like even with the bear mask and stuff like that, I feel like all of that stuff is actually already in the game, so we don't really need it necessarily. Next up is Power Rangers. I feel like this is kind of like a no-brainer one. It absolutely can work. I'm not gonna go over any of the skins because they can use anybody that they want. You know, they could have a bunch of different Power Rangers from different Power Ranger things. They could do like they could literally do blocks and have everybody get a Power Ranger skin at some point. That's how crazy it is. Next up, we go to Overwatch. Now, Overwatch is interesting because like video games with other video game skins are super rare in certain things, unless you're Fortnite. Overwatch, I feel like there's quite a few that could work, like Jungle Queen as Huntress. There's trying to think off the top of my head of what else there is, like because there's a lot of skins that match. Like Kiriko as Yoon, or Yui, or Fang. Any of the Fang as Diva, like all of those work really well. I think it would work pretty well. I'm gonna put it in A. Actually, maybe slide it up to S. I would buy a lot of them. I play both games a lot, so those are my top two streamed games. So I would love to collab. Next up is Sabrina. Obviously, I feel like that's either a Michaela or Sable skin. More Sable, probably. Absolutely would buy it. I'm gonna put it in A because it's like a solid one skin, but like I would buy the crap out of it. They could use some other skins and other characters, but I feel like it's a good thing. Next up is Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo for years I've been saying needs to be in this game, and I believe it, and I think it still does. S tier, I'd go Fred as Felix, Velma as Hattie, Scooby as Dwight in a onesie, Shaggy as Jake, and Daphne as Kate. You could also change a few of those up. I feel like the Scooby as Dwight is just too funny to not do. And then obviously with like Minor 49er could be like an easy trapper skin. Like there's the Ghoul that could be, like Rafe. Like they have so many good ones, and like having the bright kind of cartoony skin would be really cool too. So S tier for sure. Now this one's grayed out, but because it's Until Dawn and like they happen to be the terrible logo, this would be another one. I think the chapter would be way better than the skins. But you could definitely have some survivors match up with it. I don't remember all the characters from it, but I know the big bad guys like a Wendigo. So Wendigo would probably work pretty well for. I almost think like because of like the way it's like kind of scroungy would be like a hag skin. I think I would put it in here, but I'm not like super needing it. I feel like a chapter would be better. Wednesday is another just solid one skin. I think. Obviously, they probably do her roommate, which would be like Kate, and then obviously Wednesday would be Sable. I would buy it. I think a lot of people would buy it. Be printing money. Valorant is another game for game one. I don't feel like Valorant works as well, and I don't feel like they're like anywhere near each other to make a collab in their like game scope of things. But I do think that some of it could work. Omen would be a very good character with him kind of being darker and spookier to switch over to like possibly a Legion skin or a Deathstroke, not Deathstroke, Ghostface skin. I think it'd be okay. I'm not super excited for it, so I put it in D. Purge would be just kind of a one-off thing. You could have survivors having purge masks. You could have killers having different purge masks. I think it would be overall a fun idea because you could just design masks, but they can just do that anyways. They wouldn't need to connect it to the purge unless it was like a special mode where you could like do other stuff to other survivors. That could be cool. And last but certainly not least, WWE. This is the collab I always look at in most games because I'm a big wrestling fan. I have a wrestling channel. Um, there's so much good stuff here. You cannot go past not having John Cena as Rafe, where you could say you cannot see me. I don't know how you skipped doing that. Rhea Ripley as Huntress. If you want to go survivors, Cody Rhodes as Felix. Rey Mysterio would be a good one to put in there. Like obviously they're getting Call of Duty skins, so like it would work pretty well. I personally believe it's an S tier collab. And that's been my list. Tell me what I missed or what you guys think. Maybe change, if there's something on the bottom that you can kind of think of and maybe put into a skin or like into a character, maybe I'll reconsider. And if there's anything else, we should make another big list and do this again. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.